Hi, Newt. My name is Brandon Becker. Last night, Bush spoke about energy policy. However, he only signaled the need to reduce our addiction on Middle East oil, which is only 11% of our current imports. Furthermore, he vowed only for more research, not action. The actual Bush plan is shown in the energy bill passed last year by Congress, which was laden with giveaways to the fossil fuel industry. According to Public Citizen, the bill gave $6 billion in taxpayer money for oil and gas subsidies, $9 billion for coal subsidies, $12 billion for nuclear power, plus many regulatory rollbacks across the board. The government is not serious about reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. We need to think of the future today by investing in clean, renewable energy such as wind and solar power. The technology here and the time is now. What is your take on this?
Well, I mean, first of all, their analysis is a little bit self-conflicting, because if he's investing $12 billion in nuclear energy, that's by definition not fossil fuel. Second, what the president did say last night very specifically was he wants to expand the use of ethanol. He wants to expand ethanol beyond coal-based ethanol, corn-based ethanol, to include switchgrass and to include other sources of ethanol. He also talked about going to other forms of alternative fuels. My friends at Georgia Tech tell me that they think that we are within sight of solar power that is genuinely competitive. It's been coming down in price gradually over the last 25 years, and I fully expect by the end of the decade you'll see solar power that is truly directly competitive as a source of electricity. That will be a major breakthrough. The president mentioned one of my favorites, which is hydrogen. Hydrogen, if it can be used for power, clearly is the cleanest possible fuel in the world. The byproduct of using hydrogen is water. That's the only byproduct. So you automatically meet all the clean air standards. You automatically eliminate any concern about carbon loading in the Kyoto Treaty sense. And the president did mention hydrogen last night. There is a hydrogen project underway that has several $1 billion of funding. I'd like to see it accelerated because if you got that breakthrough, you then really are in a different world. The last thing the president referred to, which is frankly so technical that even when it was explained to me twice, I'm not fully sure I understood it, but there's a question about how you can use a higher quality non-petroleum fuel, for example ethanol, how you can blend it so you get 85% regular gasoline and 15% ethanol. Today we get 95 and 5. It turns out that there are already 6 million cars on the road that could be using the 85% ethanol, but the owners don't know it and the gas stations don't stock it. So the president had a reference in there to an immediate change that would in fact accelerate our use of renewable fuels, which is what you just asked about, almost overnight, and I hope it'll be worked. Let me just close and say this is a good example of citizen involvement. You know, you can disagree with Bush on a lot of things. Some of you may be more liberal, some of you may be more conservative, but there were enough good pieces of that speech last night that almost every American could find 2 or 3 things that actually make a lot of sense. Letting your members of Congress, your members of the Senate and House know that it would be good to pass the parts they agree with rather than fight over the parts they don't agree with. We could have 90 days or 120 days of genuinely positive, bipartisan, cooperative work, just getting the parts that everybody agrees with on health, on energy, on math and science, on education. There was enough good stuff in there and then we can say, all right, now once we get done doing all the good stuff, we can start fighting in July. But the idea that we're going to automatically fight over the stuff we don't agree on and never get around to passing the stuff we agree on strikes me as part of what's sick about the way Washington operates today. So let me just close and say, I decided a long time ago, partly because my dad was a career soldier serving his country, partly because I had a grandmother who beat into me that you're supposed to do your duty, and that you should have to be a citizen to be a complete person. I want to thank everybody here and in New York and in North Carolina for participating today, but I would urge you to say to your friends, you have been given the opportunity to live in the most successful, freest, most prosperous country in the history of the human race. You have an obligation morally to give a little bit of that back by being engaged, by being active, and that's more than just voting. It's more than just running for office. It's doing the things citizens do in a free country to make sure that they and their neighbors have a better future. And I appreciate very much the chance to be here and to share with you. Thank you.